In this video, we'll see how to assign function to layers in a wall type and position the core boundary layer to control the cleanup between wall when they were joined in the model. We also will see how to stop walls from joining when the junction is not required. The position of the core boundary within the wall assembly and the function assigned to the wall layers determines how walls will clean up when they join in the model. Always position between the core boundaries will always continue through to meet the layer within the core boundary of the wall that they are joined with. Layers outside the core boundary will be cut to allow this to happen. Therefore, the position of the core boundary is an important factor in achieving the required junction between walls. The layers are always a sign of function and priority, which will influence the cleanup too. There are 5 functions with their associated priority shown in the parentheses, with the priority 1 being the most important, and there the priority 5 being the least important. The function indicates what the layer might be used for, but when they join, it's the priority which controls the cleanup. Now we see in Revit what we mean by the priority and by the function of wall layers. Now I have this wall junction, and now after doing the cleanup, we have this wall junction, and this is the desired situation that we want in this wall junction details. Let's see how it's work. I will close this one. Now we start from scratch. Now I have this wall junction. I want here to have the boundary going through in here, and I must change the here the core wall, or the core boundary of the wall. And to do that, I select the wall. I go to edit. Now I go to edit assembly, and now I have this wall layers assembled like that. Now what I do, I just select this layer and up, and this one down. And now what I do for that, I change the priority to be lower. Okay, I change the priority to thermal air layer. The same we will do for this layer. And now for that, I also change to be lower the priority to be substrate 2. Now I have the core boundary like that. Now if I click on OK, now I have this junction, but it's still the here going through the insulation. What I do right now, I change the uh, edit type in here. Now what I do, I take the insulation inside the core boundary of the wall. I select this and then down inside the core boundary, and I change in here from this lower priority to a substrate priority that's stronger than the air layer in here. Okay, if I change it like that, it's stronger than. Now I have that, I have this structure in here. If I say okay, now I have the desired situation that I want to have in my wall junction. And this is the case. And we can have another case if I select the wall like that and copy from here to here, for example. Now, Control Z, click on modify. Now it's okay. Now, if I don't have, if the construction it's already for this external wall and then come this wall, I want to have this junction between layer. Like, for example, right click on the script and this allowed joint, joint like that. Now I have my layer like that. I want to this wall to finish in here. What I do in this case, I go in here like extend and trim, and I select this wall, then I select this one, and now I have this case or this junction without having the layer to joint for each one. Now you see how the core boundary and the function and the priority affect the wall junction. In this chapter, we will see how to use the wall joins tool to control how individual junctions are formed between walls at specific location. Open the model 05 how to use control joins in a floor plan tree. I have this scenario here in this junction. We want to clean up and we want to use the wall junction in here. And I want to use that tool to clean up in here. To do that, I go to a geometry panel and I activate wall joins. Now, if I hover over any joints in this model, it's sense that there is something in this junction and we have this square. After that, I take a look to the option bar in here, and it's very important to highlight the option that we have in here. We have butt, a meter, and square. If I toggle over this tree, I can go with next, and you see here automatically go to meter. If I go next, he gets back to bat in here. Now I know that this is the best cleanup that I can use. If I am satisfied with that, or it is the valuable one, I can go to modify in here, and now we have this junction cleaned up. Now, if I get back in here, I have this scenario, I have this corner scenario, and that's it's something that we don't want to build. And if I want to clean this one, I go in the same panel, geometry, and I go in here, wall jumps, and now I hover over this scenario in here. And now, if I get back to option bar, I click on next, and it give me this option. If I go to next, it give me this option. I don't want that. If I go to second option, meter, it give me this option. I don't like that, and it's not what I want. I go to square off, and now we have something that can be correct. If I am correct with that, I can click on modify. If I want the next option, I go next. Now I think this is correct for me. Now it's correct. I can click on modify, and now I have both this option cleanup with my tool wall joins. And I hope this chapter clarify how to use this tool to clean up the junction. In this chapter, we'll see how to create wall panels of a different material by using the cut geometry tool to embed one wall type into another wall type. Open the exercise file 05 embed wall, and we have this nice model. Now I want to embed a wall like a mirror in this side. Okay, how to do that? I go to here, level 2, and I have in this model already two reference plane placed, and I can go to select the wall that I want to embed inside this wall. I go to wall here. Now I go into a property and I search for the brick on CMU, exterior wall. Now I have this wall type. I go in here, the option bar, okay? And I select in here the finish face interior. Now I go to in that zone and I make sure that I snap in this intersection, okay? And I go in here, make sure to snap. That's fine. I have this error message. Don't worry about that. We will clean that. And I go to modify to end the command. Now I go to modify panel and I go to cut in here. I select this tool and now I select the first wall and the embedded wall, that one, okay? Now we have the geometry joint, but it's not enough, okay? Let's add another command in here. I go to join, and now I want to clean this line, okay? I go select this wall, select the other wall, and now I have this clean up junction, okay? Now, if I want to see that in 3D, I just go into select the modifier in the command, and now I select this wall. I go for section box in here, and now I go to view and toggle like this view in here. I close this one, go again to view like that. Now I just go to show the section box. I like that section box because it's make me clear in my mind what I'm doing. Okay, now I have this facade in here. Now I want, if I select this wall, I want to align it with this wall. Before that, I go to property of this embedded wall and I saw here the top constraint level 3. I make it to roof, up to roof. Now I have this, just go to floor plan here, make sure you have both views. And now I want to align it with this one. I go to select align tool, align, and select here. Maybe we can use tabulation and select this one and tabulation and this one. Now they are aligned. Escape to exit the command. Now we see how to embed wall inside another wall. In this video, we see how to attach walls to floors and roofs and how to edit the elevation profile of a wall using a sketch to create a custom shape. I have this model open, attach walls, and I want to attach these walls that I have in here in this entrance with the ramp. And the easiest way, there is many ways, but we have the efficient ways in this course. And the easiest way to do is to select the ramp and go to edit boundary and just don't do anything. Just again, finish the sketch and Revit will ask you if you want to attach these walls to this floor. And in our case, it's a ramp. I just click on attach. And now I have this walls attached to this ramp. And if I change, for example, the height of the ramp, it will automatically continue to attach the walls to the ramp. If I click on here and select, for example, this, for example, put them to -8 feet and click again, now I have this wall still attached, okay? And we have another situation where we can also apply this trick, is to attach automatically walls to a roof. In this case, I want to create a circular roof in here and attach these walls to these roofs. And I do that by going to the roof in here. And now in this floor, in this roof plan, I want to go to a roof by footprint in here. And now I search for circle in draw panel, and I go for the center in here, and I put like 45 feet, and I can add the height here like uh, 5 feet, for example, and I will create a slope coming from here to here and draw the slope from this grip until keeping the always the center. And now if I go in a 3D, I click on finish, I have this roof. And now I want to attach these walls to this roof. I select first by clicking on Control to select both, and coming in here in modify panel, in here I click on attach and select the roof. Now I have the roof, the walls attached to the roof. Now, for example, if I change the, for example, the slope, or I change the base offset from level, let's do that for 7 feet. And now I click and you see the wall still attached to that. Um, Now I have another way that we can, for example, in here, I don't need to attach this ramp to the wall. I want to edit profile. How we do that? If I double click on the wall, I get inside a sketch mode of the wall, or edit profile, the sketch mode of edit profile the wall. Now I can sketch this wall to be aligned with this ramp. How to do that? Go into draw panel, uh, click on pick line. Now adding the offset in the option bar, the 1 feet, and now I go in here, I click, and now I clean up in here by using my trim tools, trim this part, and now if I click on here, I have this wall uh, aligned with this ramp. And now I can do the same things for this wall by selecting the wall and edit profile. Okay, double click and it's the same. Now if I go to pick line, this time I want to be the same as this. I click on here, and now I have my line projected to this profile. This is some trick that you can use for your design. Now I click on here, I click on here, I click to clean up, and now I have this profile cleaned. In this video, we'll see how to model slanted and tapered walls, and we will learn how to apply a variable thickness to a wall layer to enable it to taper in the model. I have this model open, 07 slanted and tapered walls. Now, if I want to change this vertical walls in this tower to tapered walls or to slanted walls, first of all, I will select this wall by clicking on Control to apply multiple selection. This one, and this one. Now I have my walls selected, and I go in here, and you see we have multiple types selected. And if I select in here this parameter cross section and click on slanted and apply like 9 degree to this walls, now I have this design feature like that. Okay, it seems like 9 degree is this. It's not the exactly the shape that I want. I just put like 7 degrees. Okay, and I can control this feature. We have another feature that's also it's in a property of the walls in Revit. If I select this wall and I have in here a military selection like vertical, slanted, and tapered. If I click on tapered in here, I have this message asking me you need to change the layer in the walls and make a type and make a wall type to have a variable thickness. Okay, and in this case, I go in edit type, and you see here this group of parameters, they will change. We will have another group of parameters added after making the structure of the layer structure of the wall variable. Okay, sometimes you don't see it because you can have in your Revit dialog box set it like that. You just make a change in this column and you will see it. And if I click on here and apply, now I have this group of parameter enabled, cross-section definition. And what does mean? We have three parameters, okay? And the default exterior angle, that's mean we can assign angle, exterior angle to the tapered wall, and we can also assign interior. That's mean it can be, if you click, if you hover over, you will see this thumbnail giving you explanation, okay? And with measure it at top, if I click on this drop down menu, I have top, base, bottom. What does mean? That's mean the width of the wall, it will be fixed at the top and the change will be at the bottom if I select this situation. And let's do that. And here I want to have 7 degree, okay, and apply, okay. Now, how to do the change in here? It's already on vertical. Let's make it tapered. Okay, now you see I have, if I apply, I have these parameters, these type parameters applied, and now it's fixed in 1 foot from the top. And now at the bottom, you see if I click in here in this temporary dimension, I can change that to be like 10 feet tapered, okay, like that. And what Revit asked me, that's mean you will override in here, you will override the type parameter with this instance parameters. That's what asking me, and I click on OK. I have now this value added to this angle, and now I have in here enable angle override automatically, and that's mean this type parameter, it's no more available. Now I can change it in instance parameters. And also I can click on this grip in here and change it from here. Okay, now you see, and now you see the change. But if you want to get back to the tape parameter, you just uncheck that one, and now we have the parameter that we set up in the beginning in the type parameter. That's how you can change the wall to tapered wall. If I get back to my 3D in here, now I have in here this these walls, these tapered walls. If I select this one, now I can bring it back to tapered wall. And if you see here, if I click on modify to unselect, you see here I have this night joint, and this is, for example, this the decision I take for my design. This is how you can benefit from this parameter in a Revit slanted and tapered wall. In this video, we see how to create a base, bold, and parapet coping using the wall sweep tool. And we also see how to import a profile family to create a new sweep type. The sweep tool is used to create a component that are hosted along length of the wall. A profile family is used to define the two cross section, which then extruded with the sweep tool. The sweep tool is useful for creating a component such as a baseboard cornice or coping stone. Now I have this model I will use to do my sweep. And now, before I add anything, I go to Insert and load Autodesk Family. And now, if I go to Autodesk Family, I have a family category profile. Okay, if I go to Profile in here, now I have many profiles. I choose with the wall one, and I choose this one, parapet, carpet, precast, loud. Now it's loaded in the project. Now I go to architecture, to wall in here, and wall sweep. Now, before starting placing my sweep, I go to edit type and duplicate. I have here baseboard and cornice. I will choose cornice, duplicate that one, and name it cornice underscore parapet, for example. Okay. And now, here in profile, I go to choose this one. Okay. Parapet cap precast 20 inches. Okay. Wide. Adding material. Now going searching for stone. Travertine. Okay. Now I have what I need. Now, if I hover over the wall, you see the preview. And I want to place it on the parapet in here. Okay. Click. Now going to the other wall. Click. Now make sure I'm grabbing the right wall. Always make sure that the preview meets what you want to do. Okay. Now the last one, and I click on modify to go out of the command. And if you see, I have nice miter in here, and I have my sweep for my parapet already placed. But I need to do some setting before to finish that. Here I see the property of the wall sweep that it's associated to the level site. Okay, it's not the site. I will associate that to the parapet. Okay, offset, I don't need any offset, and now I apply. Now it's okay for this sweep. Now we have in a level 2, if I click on level 2, I have this reception in here. Okay, and I want to add maybe this one. Okay, we do an example. You can choose whatever you want. And if I select this reception, I add a section box to that to make sure that I'm going in the right place where I want to place my sweep or my baseboard. Okay. Now, if I go in here, wall, activate the sweep tool. Now, if you check, I have two, baseboard and I have the cornice. Now I check baseboard. And if I hover over the wall, I can place it. You see here? You see here? Now, if you click on modify, I have my baseboard already placed. Okay, but you need to verify. For example, if I select my section in here and my section box in here, you see the sweep tool going to the other direction. But if you see this grip, it's allow us to control where I want to finish with the sweep. And the same things, I select in here and I grab that to the corner in here. Now, if I go to the property, I see it's associated to a level 2, and I want to make sure that it's aligned with my floor. How to do that? I use align tool. Go to the modify, align. Now if I select my floor in here and I came here and now it's aligned. Now I click to modify, and if you select the sweep in here, you see that go through this door frame. How I can modify that manually, but if I go to edit type and I put, for example, the default set back to 3 inches. Okay, now you see it's clean up that. Now I can finish in this to add that in this wall. I make sure it's the sweep it's selected. I go in the ribbon and I choose add to wall, and now I select my wall and it's continue with the same setting. In this video, we will see how to create a recessed wall feature using the Wall Reveal tool. The Reveal tool is used to create a component that are hosted on a wall and cut into the wall structure. The profile family is used to define the 2D cross section, which is then extruded with the Reveal tool, as the Revealed tool will cut into the wall. It's useful for creating a recessed feature such as the shadow gaps and the panel lines. I have this model open, 09 how to use wall reveals, and I will place my reveal tool on this side in the wall and the other side of this wall. Now, how to do that? I go in here in a wall and I have in here wall reveal. I click on that. Before starting placing the reveal tool, I will zoom in just to make sure that I will place it in the right place, and then I will move it. Let's place it in here and click on modify here. Now if I zoom in and tab to select the reveal and zoom to in here. Now you see how we placed the reveal, but I want to modify the profile. If I have the profile already uploaded inside the model, I can go to edit and edit type property. I have here profile, and you can choose which profile you want to use for this reveal. I use this one brick. Okay, and now you see the reveal doesn't cut deeper in the wall. If we want to change this instance property, I go in here, offset from wall, and I add, for example, 2 inches deeper. Okay, apply, and now you see escape, and you see the reveal go deeper inside the wall. Now I will align it with the bottom of this window. How to do that? I go to modify tool and go to align and select the bottom in here, tab to select the bottom, and now I go in here in my reveal and align it. Now you see it's aligned. Now if I go to modify to escape the command, and if I hover over the reveal and select here the reveal and go in the ribbon and add and remove. Now I can add it to this wall. Let's see this wall. You see it here. And now I go to the other side of the building. And now I click on here and it's placed in here. Now what I do, escape from this command. I go to the east elevation in here. And now I see the reveal that I already placed. I select that, and now I will copy it, copy, and I will select from here to here. Okay, now we will place that over all the building. Okay, I will select both of them, and now I go to copy. I select this corner of the windows and I go multiple copy. Now place it in here and now in here. Now if I escape the command, click on modify. Now if I go to my 3D, now you see we have finished to place our nice reveal tool. In this video, we'll see how to place an architecture column to encase a structural column within a partition wall and to extend the finish of a complex wall type around the structural column. We will also see how to use an architecture column to create a pillar in a masonry wall. In a Revit, an architecture column will inherit the layers and the finish of the wall that is joined to. They are used to box out around the structural column that's built into a wall or to create pillars in a masonry wall where needed. An architectural column can also be used as the decorative in a case into a standalone structural column. I have this model open, 10 architecture column. Now I will add an architecture column in this area and then we move to place it on a structural column in here. How to do that? First, I go to a column and I choose in here architecture column. Now, before I place the architecture column in here, I must choose which family type I need. I have this by default, this 18 inches. And if I came in here, I go to center of the structural column in here and click. Now, if I escape, I see that the architecture column inherit the finish of this exterior wall. Now, I have in here this steel column. I want to place an architecture column to have a nice partition wall. How to do that? I go in here again, architecture column, and before I place it, I create a new type, edit type. Now duplicate, and this time I want to place 16 inches by 16 inches a column. Okay. Now, okay. Now if I go to dimension in the depth, I place 16 inches. Okay. I just keep that. And now I copy paste that one in here. And I have this 16 inches. Click. Nice and clean. And now I can escape a couple of times. If I want to place it in here and I want to use the same column, I just select in here and right click and create similar. Now I place it in the center. Now I want to place another architecture column to support this area in here. How to do that? I go to architecture column in here and I can choose another type, this time 1824 inches, and I come in the center of the wall, click on spacebar to change the orientation and click. Now you see my architecture column inherit the masonry from this wall. Now if I want to center it in here, it's easy. I use my dimension tool in here, select this grid line and select the center in here, you see, and the other grid line, place it in here and make it equal. Escape a couple of times. Now I select to place the mirror of this column in this zone. Select the architecture column, go to modify bar and select mirror and choose this big grid to mirror on. Now we have our architecture column in both sides. Now just delete this dimension, we don't use it. We have this message, no worry about it. It's about removing constraint, I don't need it. And now you see how to place architecture column in a model. In this video, we'll see how to model a new curtain wall, how to swap existing basic wall for a curtain wall, and we will see how to edit the properties of a curtain wall to control the position of a grid lines and mullions. A curtain wall is a type of wall that encloses the exterior of the building but does not carry any structural load. They are fixed to the structure and often made up of panels and mullions, with the panels being a mix of solid and glazed material, with the glazed material allowing the light to come into the building. I have this model open, 11 create a curtain wall, and from this perspective you see that we need to place a curtain wall in this area in here. How to do that? We need to go in the floor plan, level 1, and then we can go to the view and tile the view. One view, the floor plan, we will place the curtain wall, and in here we will see how it's look in the perspective. How to do that? I go to architecture and I go in a wall and create a wall. And from here, I choose a curtain wall. You see that we have a curtain wall in here and we have three type of curtain wall. Let's start with curtain wall glazing. Okay. Now I select this one and I zoom in this area in here, and from this side of that zone, I go to this side. Now I place my curtain wall, and you see I place it like that, but I can select the curtain wall and I say go from the base constraint to from level 1 to a level 4. And you see that the curtain wall behave like a base wall. And now you see it's just a large glazing panel. But how we divide it, we need to go to the type property of this curtain wall. By selecting the wall, go to edit type. And now in here, in edit type, we have some parameters group, and especially vertical grids and horizontal grids. And before we add any change, we need to duplicate that and we give it a descriptive name, like for example, curtain wall panels, because we need to make a panels. And okay, now I decide the layout, okay, for vertical grids. We have in here 4 options: fixed distance, fixed number, maximum spacing, minimum spacing. Let's start with fixed distance, and let's keep it 5 feet. And here for the horizontal, we do the same things, and this time we make it 10 feet. Apply. Okay, and now you see that we have in here, let's close this one and come here. And now you see that we have these grid lines evenly spaced from this side and from horizontal side. Now I can, for example, for the properties, adjust, for example, the vertical grids and the horizontal grids by choosing any option. Let's add some mullion, okay? Edit type. Now, if I go to vertical mullions, we have the interior type and we have the borders type. And for the horizontal, for the vertical, we choose this one, 5 feet, sorry, one cut. We choose this one, okay? We choose 1 inches square, and the same in here, the same in a border 2. And for horizontal, we choose the same. Just for the purpose of this exercise, we choose that. You can uh, explore these options as you can. Okay. Now you see I have my mullions placed horizontally and vertically. Now we can, for example, attach the curtain wall to the roof here. How to do that? By selecting the curtain wall, attach top, and select in here. We have this message that say can't create curtain wall. The portion of the curtain wall it was placed no longer is it. No problem with that. Okay, and now we have a curtain wall placed like that. We can adjust that if we want. You get the idea now by having this curtain wall type. You can select the other walls and try to explore other design options. Now we go in here, we select our curtain wall panels, and now you can even adjust here the justification, and I let you explore the option in curtain wall in Revit. In this video, we will see how to add grid lines to curtain walls using the curtain grids tool. We will also see how to edit grid lines to add and remove segment and merge panels together. And we will see how to add mullions to curtain walls using the mullions tools. I have this model open, 12 modify curtain grids. And I have here this curtain wall. I select and zoom to have a nice view in here. Now, I want to add horizontal grids here. How to do that? I go in, click on modify, go to architecture ribbon, and we have in the build panel curtain grids, okay? And if I click on curtain grids like that, I have this modify place curtain grids activated. And we have all segments or one segment. How it's work? For all segments, you can hover over in here, and when you hover over horizontal grids or horizontal mullion in here, you see this preview. And if you click, for example, on any place on the curtain wall, you will see that we have now this mullions added. Let's do that again. I go in here horizontally, and now I can place it. Now, if I go in horizontal mullion and I place my grids like that, you see we can place horizontal mullions. Now I go to modify, escape, and now this is very important. I want to have a different pattern in here. Okay, for these grids that I placed, I want to remove some grids and add some grids. How to do that? I come here and now I hover over this mullion and cycle through tab until I get the curtain grids and I click on it. When I click on it, I look up in here and I have add remove segment. If I click on that, I activate add remove segment, and now I remove this and this one and this one and going through that. Now, for example, I remove a grid, but I want to bring it back. I just click on the preview of the grid here, and you click and you remove it. Let's do that for the other one. Now I click escape or click on modify, and now I come again, I hover over this mullion and cycle through tab 1, tab 2, and you get it. Now I have the grid selected. Now I go up, and now I come in here to remove these grids. And you see when I remove the grids, the mullion remove it because it's associated. Now I click on here, you see, and click on that. Maybe I remove this one and going through that, you get the idea. And now I remove that. Now I can select, escape, come over, tab, cycle through tab, add, and remove this one. Now we can do that in here, going through Now escape couple of times, come here, hover over, cycle through tab until you select the grids and add and remove. And now you can continue with this pattern, or you click create another pattern with this curtain wall. Now, it's not only for all segments. We can, for example, have one segment. How to do that? I go back to grid, okay? And now, instead of selecting all segments, I will select one segment. And now if I come up in here, I can place one segment like that. You see that? And I can place another one in here horizontally. But if I come over here and the horizontal, I can have in here another one. And you see, if for example I tab in, if for example I want to modify in here, I hover over this one, and now I see that the grid is already selected, and I have this temporary dimension. I can add that I want. Escape. And now we come in this second example, and here we have a different wall type. Okay, for example, this is a curtain wall without the mullion. Now we want to place horizontal mullion in here, vertical mullion. How to do that? By selecting the wall, curtain wall in here, select here the curtain wall and go to edit. And now if you go to edit curtain wall, we have here the horizontal grids placed as a fixed distance, and the vertical grids placed as the fixed distance also. But we don't have any mullion placed in here. Okay, vertical mullion, none. Horizontal mullion, none. Now we place them in this instance. How to do that? I go to architecture, and now I go to mullion. Now, if I select the mullion, I have three options: grid lines, grid line segments, and all grids. We start with this grid lines, okay? Before we place any mullion in here, we click on the type selector, and we see that we have a different category or different type of mullion. We have a circular, and we have a corner, and we have a quadral and rectangle. And now if we go with the rectangular, this one, and edit type, now I have this group of parameters. Now to have a big mullions, I will duplicate this one, and let's do another 10 by 8 inches. Now okay, and I must change the thickness in here, 10 inches, and for the dimension here we have the width side 2 4 inches, and the other one 4 inches, and apply. And now okay, now if I hover over the here, I want to place the mullion. Now you see that I have this horizontal. The same, I come over this horizontal grid, you see it in blue, click, and now click to place all over this wall, curtain wall. Now I click on the borders to place both. And now you see I have my horizontal grids and this vertical place. Now I want to place a small mullion inside this curtain wall. Escape. I activate the mullion command. Now, instead of placing one by one, I will select all grids line. Okay, and before place them, I will change in the type selector to this 2.5 inches and 5 inches, this one, rectangular. And now instead of placing one by one, I hover over the grids and click. Now we have them in the same time placed. Now we have this junction in here, okay? Escape, we want to have continuous here. How to do that? If I select, and you see in a preview, I have this make it continuous, okay? This symbol in here. If we click, Now you see it's become continuous. I select another one, I click, it's become continuous. But imagine for the whole curtain wall. We don't have to imagine we have this for all the curtain wall. How to do that? We select first the wall, escape the command by clicking on modify. Now I select in here the curtain wall exterior glazing, edit, and now in the construction group of parameter, I will go in join condition and I choose border and horizontal grids continuous. Okay, and now you see how nice and clean they are continuous. This is how we place Mulion on curtain grids. In this video, we'll see how to use a different technique for selecting curtain panels within a curtain wall. We will see how to create and apply new curtain panel types, and we also see how to use match type properties to assign curtain panel type into a curtain wall. I have this model open, create curtain panels, go in this curtain panel between the atrium and the tower in here, this one, select the curtain wall, and down in here, go to isolate element. Okay. Now we isolate this element and we have much better look. Now I come here in this panel and I tab cycle through tab key multiple times until I get this panel in here. Now I click, right click, and go in select panels. Now I select vertical grids, and you see in here I have all these panels along these vertical grids selected. Now if I go here, you have 8 curtain panel. Now I can go to edit type, and I have this glazed panel I duplicated, and I name it metal panel. Okay, metal panel, and let's do only pan. And I go in material and finish it, and material, click on glass and click on this button. Now I go for searching aluminum and I select the aluminum material and I click on OK. OK. Now if I unselect, you see that I have all the panel changed material to this aluminum material. Now we can do in the same thing for the horizontal panel in here. Hover over this panel and cycle through tab key multiple time until you select this panel. Now when you select this panel, click right button on your mouse and then go to vertical, and underneath you have horizontal grid. Now you go to type selector and you go down in here and you have the curtain panel metal that we created. And if I unselect it, you see here I have this panel turned to metal panel. Now I have another way to select this here, these horizontal panels. I can click on my mouse left and cycle through, and now you see I select all this line. Now we have like 39 panels selected, and if I go in here down, you have 39. If I go here, you see the filter, it's the same, both of them. You have the choice if you want to click on here, and you see now I have curtain panels, curtain walls grids, and curtain walls mullion. I unselect this both, and now I have a curtain panel. I click on OK. Now I go down here and I select metal panel. This is a multiple way of selecting the curtain panel and the change. Now if I go for the rest of this horizontal, I go the same. I click in here and select Windows and go to the filter. And now I check none and go to the panel. Okay, select in here metal panel. It's left only this. Select, filter, uncheck none, and go curtain panels. And now select the desired curtain panel. Now we have placed this curtain panel. We can just click on down here, reset temporary hide, and we get back to our view in the model in here. Now come to this panel in here in the atrium and select this panel in here and edit type and change the material to glazed underscore bronze. Okay. And now click on OK, go to glass material, click on this button and change to glass bronze glazing. And you can use render appearance to have the material. And now you see that I have this panel in glazed bronze. Now we want to use the match property to copy this panel to other place in curtain wall. How to do that? We go to in here match property, and now I can copy this in here, tab through until you get the panel, and you see that the match property icon changed to become black. Now I come in here and select here these panels just randomly to have this nice pattern in here. Okay, now you can click on that, click on that, click on that, and you have the idea now how to we can use it for this curtain panel too. Go here, go select, and now you can apply the property of this panel to this panel also. You can use it for this one in here. Let's now have like regular pattern instead of random pattern. Now you see how to use a match property in a curtain panel. In this video, we will see how to adjust the curtain grids to create a panel suitable for a door. We will see how to load the door and the windows families for curtain walls. And we will see also how to change a curtain wall panels for a door and the windows. I have this model open and we will zoom in here to place a door and the windows in this curtain wall. First of all, we need to show how the door behave in a curtain wall. Where I click on a door in here and choose this, for example, this door, and I want to place it in this curtain wall. I cannot place it, but I can place it in a basic wall like that. What that's mean? That's mean that we need to have a special door and the windows for a curtain wall. How to do that? We demonstrate that now. Before I go to insert and go to load Autodesk family, and now I have in here the Autodesk family now that I can load the doors and windows for a curtain wall. Before that, we just make sure that we choose like United States Imperial and come in here and clicking on curtain doors and enter. Now we have in here this door and I can click load. This is the doors that they are special for a curtain wall or loud. Now, if I come in this panel in here where I want to place my doors, I select this panel, I go in a type selector and I'm searching for the door that I just loaded. That's the door I just loaded. I click on here And now you see that I have this door placed in here. Now I escape a couple of times. Now you see that the door take the dimension of this panel you see in here, and that's not what we want. We want to adjust this panel to be suitable for a door. How to do that? We just Control Z to undo, and now I go in here architecture, and I choose a curtain grid, and now I choose one segment, and now I came in here, I choose this segment in here, and I enter, for example, like 8 feet, okay? And I place another grid in here. Now, if I select, for example, this grid, this, let's see this grid, and just searching for the temporary dimension, unlock that. Sometimes you need to, you see here, temporary dimension, and now I put like 3 and 8 inches, enter. Now I have the dimension that I want, and we want to place our door in here. But first of all, I need to remove this mullion, okay? Delete and change this vertical mullion with a small one, okay? Let's change it for this mullion. And now we just adjust this upper mullion like that, select, and make it continuous. Now we are ready to place our door. And we select the door that we, now I think we are good. Now we need to place the curtain windows also, because if we want to place the windows like normal windows that they are not special for, if for example, go in here and we want to place these fixed windows, we are not allowed to place it. Okay, it's the same as a doors. How to do that? Now I go to insert, and now load family, and now searching for curtain window. Curtain window. And I have this curtain wall windows loaded. And now if we came in here, tab, tab, tab until we select the panel, then we go searching for the curtain wall awning windows, this one, okay? And now it's already placed. Now we just use the match property to copy the same windows in the other panels. How to do that? I go to modify, we go to match property, select these windows and place it in here, in here, in here, and in here. Click our modify to cancel the command. And now we complete the exercise how to place curtain doors and windows.